Hey everyone, it's Shannon, and I've got with me,
Amy, so you're above me today.
oh, we never know where we are on the screen. Um, I'm super excited to be here. I hope you are super excited to be here. Amy did a beautiful story today in our group. If you haven't caught it, she started racing race cars at the age of 9 and learned really quickly that all her people really wanted, they didn't care if she won and they didn't care if she lost. All they wanted was
Ice cream.
ice cream. Like, it was brilliant. It was, Amy, first of all, thank you. I know you're going to be going live and sharing your 12 lives that your yoga teacher has said that you've had.
Yeah.
So we're pretty excited about that. And this was just another glimpse into Amy's personal life, which, as you all know, we operate here on relationships. We're all about getting to know you getting to know us. That's why Amy's inviting you to coffee chats and get to know you chats and strategy calls. It's because that's actually what we want to be doing with our time. It's what we believe works great in business. And let's be real, relationship really counts in today's world. And I'm a little partial to it, but I love building relationships and community. So awesome. Amy, introduce yourself.
Hey there, I'm Amy, your joyful marketing specialist. Like Shannon said, working closely with her and our clients, and also you here in this group, getting to know you better. And, Shannon nailed it on the head, relationships first. I just got back from Joy Money Retreat, and my number one value is relationships.
Yes, we uncovered it in that magical process. If you're here, please say hello in the comments. One of the things I'm getting ready to launch into is to tell you changes in this group, and then we're going to hop into the training about story and creating and relieving tension. So Terry, welcome. Caston, welcome. Susie Schaefer, welcome. Thank you for stopping by and leaving a comment. One of the things that I am going to be revealing is I don't do well with people who just kind of sit around in Facebook group and don't ever say anything. So there are some changes coming to this group. This is nothing new. But first, I just got off of a panel of amazing summit that I was asked to be a part of called Do Good and Make Money Summit. Like, if there was ever a summit built for me, that was it. And I was referred to at the end of my session as the Marie Kondo of marketing.
I like it.
And I was like, oh my God, this feels so good. These people are my people. Right? Because Marie's all about joy and only keeping what's joyful and getting down to that bare minimum place of like no clutter, like really, why do I have this rubber band? Does it bring me joy? So super excited to come off of that high and talk about that. But I want to reintroduce myself because my team encouraged me to take a new title for 2021. I flew my team out to team retreat in, where were we? San Antonio. And I would love an opportunity to reintroduce myself. All of you who are coming into the group, all of you have known me for years. I am Shannon Hernandez, the joyful growth strategist and CEO mindset coach for coaches and consultants around the globe who want to build a 6-figure and beyond business, be the CEO in their business, and do all of that with abundant time off, loads of joy, making money, and no burnout. If I can get a hell yes for that introduction, that rolls off my tongue. My team actually said, Shannon, you are helping people more than marketing. You are restructuring businesses. You are bringing people back to life. Can you please evolve into joyful business growth strategist? And Amy, do you want to share, like, my initial was like,
I don't know. It was just like, I don't know if you felt that it was boring, that I don't know what it was, but yeah, the look on your face was, if I had to describe it with a sound, it was,
Uh,
over here. But it's so true. Like when I'm talking, it's funny. Shannon and I will almost meet some of the same people within a week of each other, and we're talking and networking, building relationships. And when people say Shannon moves me miles in a minute, it's so true. So I think it's a perfect title, and I'm glad you're embracing it.
Yeah. And I told a story a year or two ago. I was still living in Brooklyn, so it had to be at least 2 years. I remember I was on 3rd Street in Brooklyn, and I stopped because behind me were all those beautiful long, the whole street was lined with the row houses, like the Cosbys, right? Like those kind of houses. And I was like, this would be a great place for a video. And today I'm going to go live. Many of our people will remember this, where I said, I am not a coach and I'm not calling myself that anymore. And I took on that because people don't hire me for me to sit there and ask them questions. That's a coaching tool. It's a great tool in and of itself. But when you come and work with me, you want me to give you some damn solutions that gets you client and builds your business. Now, do I use coaching as a tool? Yes. So at the time, I had dropped coaching from my vernacular, from how I describe myself, but it feels so good to be able to add CEO mindset coach, because that is the coaching that is moving people miles and minutes. So I've got the marketing and the joyful business growth strategist and consultant. And now I really can own CEO mindset coach. And I'm super, super excited about it.
Yeah.
Super excited. Terry wants me to repeat the title. Terry, I would love to. It's a good lesson in people understanding what is their unique differentiator statement. We talk about this all the time. I am Shannon Hernandez, the joyful business growth strategist and CEO mindset coach who is helping coaches and consultants around the globe build 6-figure and beyond businesses with lots of time off, lots of joy, lots of money, and without the burnout. I mean, that's $1 million right there. That's $1 million right there. All right. So before we launch into today's training, Amy and I are going to go over some of the things that I'm shifting about this group. Now, I would change the name of this group, but for some reason, my group name will not change. There is some glitch going on in Facebook. It's not only my group. So whatever, I'm not going to get distracted on the shiny squirrel. But here's the essence of this group. I am going to evolve this group up, and we are going to have evolved conversations around content. All right, this is going to excite a lot of you. We're going to talk about scaling, joy, time off, and revenue. We're going to talk about lead gen through trust-based marketing. I am really excited about those words. How is your marketing building trust every single day? Trust-based marketing, we're going to talk about. We are going to talk about things like scaling your joy, scaling your revenue, scaling your time off. What is lead gen? What are the 3 types of lead gen? By the way, there's 3 types. Build it yourself. All right, traffic, build it yourself. Borrow it, all right, and buy it. I don't play in the buy it. So if you're here and you want to buy traffic through ads, you're going to learn some great stuff on building trust-based marketing strategy and borrowing other people's audiences in integrity. But I am not going to touch ads. I hate it. It's not for me. There's a lot of people who do that really well. And if you're all about wanting to buy some ads, please don't ask me or Amy about it, because we don't know shit about it. We're staying in our lane because it ain't joyful, right? The other thing we're going to really, really dive down in here is like being more strategic with what you're doing. Because here's a myth that is happening in marketing and has been for a long time. The myth is bigger is better. And the truth is better is better. And this January, I went to my team on team retreat and I said, we have got a lot of things going for us, but each of you have a crucial role. And here is the question I want you to apply every single day that you log in to work for this brand. How can you make a 10% improvement in either the systems, in the tools, in the tech, in closing sales? For me, how can I have a 10% increase in lead gen, in marketing that captures the hearts and minds and trusts of people? And so I wanted to actually ask all of you that question today. If you focused on just 10% increase, not creating something new, not creating a new program, not getting distracted by all the shiny squirrels rolling around. But if you actually focused on a 10% increase, and most of you, it's your selling. It's your selling. It's the conversion, right? It's getting people signed up is one. If you've mastered that, it's the selling is the next one. And if you've mastered that, it's the scaling, right? 10%. 10% changes your business, changes your bank account, and changes your life. And these are the things that I'm going to be talking about in this group. Amy, do we have any questions or comments while I take a drink?
This is exactly the conversation I had with my business this week, said Susan Laserhart. So thank you, Susan, for joining. And Terry and I are sitting here taking notes in the comments together. So you're just like dropping diamonds left and right here.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's talk about some important dates coming up. I want everyone to get their paper and pen out. February 15th and 16th, I am hosting my most popular workshop, In Demand. They asked for it to come back. I said, okay. All right. So I put together an amazing event. It is called Marketing with Love, Crafting Stories That Sell. Tickets are $500. We are meeting the morning of February 15th and February 16th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. I built the guide. It is 15 pages of amazing, beautiful ways to tell stories and get people involved in what's going on in your world and how you can help them. Because at the end of the day, stories sell. They sell. I know this. I went into 2020 with doing nothing but workshop weeks and telling stories, and we had $50,000 weeks, $60,000 weeks, all right? So if you want to learn the art and the heart of story selling, you will be at that event. I don't care if you have clients, move them. You're the CEO. I mean, can I be real? Can I be real? When somebody invites me to something and I know it's going to grow my business or help me, I'm the CEO. I get to move my clients. I get to go to them and say, Carrie Ann, listen, I really know that you had a coaching session here, but can I please move this? This is important to me. I am modeling being a CEO and I am honoring getting her input. That's the relationship. And she always says, yes, please go do that. Right? So Amy, we've been teaching some story marketing and some ways to connect and have conversations with people over in our new year, new clients. What do you want to say about kind of what we're seeing over in that case study group?
I think it's what I love the most about it is it's not hard. You don't have to come up with something new. These are things that you know. These are things that you could just go live and talk about. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of cleaning up to get them there. But Eric has made the major shift. We talked about him last week. And he is already telling stories about dads who are leaders and how to inspire to be a leader and how to be a leader as a dad. And for him to literally make that decision on Monday of last week, plus spend all the next 4 days doing story marketing. And he posted something yesterday too. This isn't hard, but I think really where we're nailing it on the head is there is an art about it. You don't want to just ramble on. You need to be making sure that you're putting in the right pieces. And so we've laid out a formula for it. So it's very easy for you to follow with something that you know that you literally could just go live with and talk about.
Exactly.
So it's putting that strategy behind what you already know.
Exactly. And guess what? There's an opportunity to purchase the VIP for $1,000 and come to the mastermind with me on March 6th. We are ordering brunch and flowers to your house so that we can sit down and mastermind and share a beautiful meal together on a Saturday. This is what I'm known for. Marketing that moves people. Marketing that gets you what you need and want, and that feeling of community, and being able to have access to me, access to Amy, and access to each other. Because you guys, at the end of the day, you're going to hear me say this a million times, and I'm going to say it loud and proud. Startup phase should never be a long phase. It should not be the place where you stay. It should be very quick and very temporary. And the way you turn that around is with marketing and lead gen that gets to the heart and soul of your people and solves their problems. Yes. If you want to learn more about this, grab your ticket. We're meeting February 15th and 16th. It'll be the best 6 hours you've ever spent in February to date. I promise. All right. The other thing I want to talk about, some changes to this group, but first an event. So many of you said, oh my God, I would be so interested in coming to a roundtable and a celebration where Shannon shared the single question she went after last year, which was, how do I work half the time, double the revenue, and triple the profit? That was my question last year, and I made every decision from that question. How do I work half the time, double the revenue, and triple the profit? And we went from 220K to 250K to 440K. And I am going to sit you down in a Zoom event, and we are going to have a heartfelt conversation about what that took. Okay? Who wants to come to that event? It's going to be amazing. All right. It's a roundtable community celebration. Amy's working some magic on her end for celebratory stuff. I'm going to do the teaching and training. It is February 22nd from 3 to 4:15 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be getting you a link where you can register for free. But we would love to have you there. And I'm going to be honest for a moment. I was nervous about this. I talked to my coach, and I talked to Amy, and I'm going to talk to my team. And I was like, oh my God, I don't want the spotlight on me. You know when I want the spotlight on me? When I'm teaching. That's it, right? I don't want the spotlight on me. And my coach said, Shannon, together we rise. You have said this to us over and over and over in this Facebook group. And when you celebrate, and we can celebrate, and we can all celebrate together, you help us all rise. So I need you to get over yourself, essentially is what she said. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to have Amy do the celebration part, and I'm going to teach. But we found a solution that felt good for everyone. So Amy, what do you want to say about this event that we're gearing up for on February 22nd?
You better be there. I just put it in the comments so you can put it on your calendar. And really, this is such a great story, because if you guys remember last year, not only did we have a pandemic, Shannon almost died. And so how do you go from literally almost death in March to 9 months later having the best year you've ever had in your life?
Oh my God. That's what the event's going to be called. I have been waiting for a title. It's going to be called The Best Year Ever, Pandemic 2020.
Oh my God.
Can you write that down, please? I will forget it.
Best year ever.
I mean, what's the irony in that? pandemic and near death 2020, the best year ever in business. Like, I'm totally naming that event. I have been waiting for an event name. That's it. Stacy, what do you think? You're here. She's been helping me with my graphics and stuff. Okay, awesome. Some changes to the group, okay? Starting in March, we are moving all trainings off of Facebook, off of this group. Some of them will still be free, but you will be registering and joining me in our joyful Zoom classroom. Okay, this is an important move for a lot of reasons, and I know you guys want to know the strategy behind this stuff, so I'm going to spill the beans. All right, first of all, I am about community. I am about answering questions. I am about engagement. I am about helping you move miles and minutes. I can't necessarily do that, you know, like this. You're on one side and I'm on the other side, and we're doing the best we can with the tech we have. But I want to gather people for transformative trainings in Zoom. Mm-hmm. All right. So that's the first thing that's going to be happening is our monthly trainings will be moved to Zoom. Some of them are still going to be free. All right. But I'm pretty excited about it because those of you know, when you're in a Zoom room with me, it's freaking magic. You can ask questions, I can ask questions, and we can just get to the heart and soul of the matter, right? And it's more active, it's more engaging, it's relationship. And that's everything that I stand for in life. All right. So Amy, what do you think of this change? I was scared to tell you, but you actually cheered it on.
Yeah, no. So here's the thing, guys. Like, we love having conversations. We all better from conversations. Shannon and I can sit here and present at you all damn day. We can try to answer your questions in the comments, but let's be honest. This face-to-face interaction is so much better than us just sitting here talking to you on Facebook and you asking questions and comments, us trying to answer them. It's just, let's get together in a room. Yeah. A Zoom room.
A joyful Zoom room.
Joyful Zoom room.
All right. The second thing, which I haven't shared with Amy yet, because I've just been letting it sink in today to make sure that I wanted to do it. So Amy, brace yourself.
I love it when you surprise me live.
I am bringing back workshop weeks, and they are going to be paid in Zoom with a pop-up Facebook group for community. That is what's going to be happening. All right. So many of you grew to love the workshop weeks. There were problems I had personally, just energetically, and the amount of people coming in and how much homework we had to check. And I mean, we had 50 and 60K weeks, but guess what? On the other end, and I've been very open about this, I crashed, and I crashed hard. And so I've been just waiting and saying, okay, what was it that worked? What was it did I love? How can I make this my own? So we will be having a live workshop week in April. Okay. And that workshop week, I'm going to decide on the topic, but it will be paid, because if you're going to spend 3 hours with me, I'm going to get paid for it. That's what I stand for in the world. And those of you who have spent any time with me, free or not, know it's worth every single minute that you're in our presence, because we show up and deliver. That's what we're known for. All right. And we will have a pop-up Facebook group where we gather on Zoom and we have the trainings like we're talking about, but then we can have the conversation over in the pop-up group with only the people who have paid, who are invested in getting help and get moving their business forward. So Amy, thoughts on that? Because I just dropped the bomb on
it. I love it. I mean, I love when there's like an awesome pop-up like winery, pop-up coffee bar, pop-up shop. I love having a little pop-up Facebook to go with our workshop weeks. This is perfect. And it's a model that we're kind of using with our new year, new clients right now. They're in a five-week focus group. So, you know, we've tested, we've tried, we know how to do this, and it works really, really well. So I'm on board. Thanks for telling me, boss.
You're so welcome. I'm going to tell the whole team tomorrow.
No.
So those are the big changes that are happening. I'm super excited about it. My zone of genius is teaching and training and moving people miles and minutes with the right question. And guess what? My question this year isn't how can I double my revenue? Because then I would be at 800 and some thousand, which could be a little overwhelming. Let's be real. That's a lot of people in programming. All right. But my question this year was, how could I create a transformative mastermind, high level mastermind, and come out of one-on-one coaching? And I am really proud to say I had already piloted this. It's called the Joyful CEO Mastermind. And we've registered a couple new people in the last week and a half. And I am graduating one-on-one clients in the next couple of weeks, and I am out of one-on-one. Now, you can have some one-on-one support in with that program, and that's the beauty of it. So if you've been waiting to work with me one-on-one, if your business is over $100,000, this is the mastermind for you. If you are not yet at $100,000, no judgment there, but we got to work on the foundation, because the CEO Mastermind is about scaling the joy, the time off, and the revenue. And you can't scale until you learn to market and sell and get people into your program. So we still have 2 programming options. The Confident Expert program, if you're under $100,000, we want to help you break that limit. There's a lot of cool stuff that happens because you figured stuff out. And then you can come work with me in the Joyful CEO Mastermind, where we are going to just expand things into more joy, more time off, and more revenue. And who better to teach that than somebody that went from 50K to 440K last year. Like, I got the cred.
It's like that Girl Scout badge that you would get like after coming back from, the summer camp or whatever. And you're like, yeah, I got it. Yours has got the money. It's got some signs. I can see it.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so I have a rubber band. We're going to talk about your story. Now, here's the beautiful thing. You have got lots of stories that you can be using in your marketing. And I'm going to teach you at the February 15th and 16th event how to do this, and how to do it in such a way that's joyful and gets people reaching out to you for summits and speaking opportunities and podcast interviews and clients, and just revitalizing your content. Like, let's jazz it up for 2021, right? So one of the things I'm going to teach you next week is this idea of creating and relieving tension in your stories and in your marketing, okay? I know why there's so many people here today. I created and relieved tension all week. I said, changes are coming to this group. I will be telling you about it on our Tuesday training. I'm also going to be talking about story. You want to hear about what's happening? Come to Tuesday training. All right. So creating and relieving tension is something that I had to learn to survive New York City public schools in Spanish Harlem. If I didn't do this the entire time that I was standing at that room for 90-minute blocks and create and relieve tension, those kids would have walked all over me. They didn't care what I had to say about anything. I wasn't like them. Okay. So I'm going to share a story, and I've asked Amy to think about where the tension builds and where the tension wanes. All right. So where I create tension and where I relieve tension. And first, we're all going to do it. All right. We're all going to do it. If you don't have a rubber band, it's okay. You can do this with your fingers. Okay. So I did this on the stage in San Antonio, and we're all going to start with Cinderella because we all know the story. So just to warm everyone up. All right. So Amy, get your thing ready. All right. Once upon a time, in an ordinary day, in an ordinary time, there was a girl named Cinderella, and she was doing all her chores, and she was doing all things that people were telling her to do. And she wasn't happy. In fact, she wasn't joyful at all. And then something strange happened. Now, you should be asking, yeah, I know what that was. What was it? Amy, what happened? What arrived at her house?
The slippers, the fairy godmother people. Crap, I don't know. I can't remember Cinderella.
Okay, I'll continue. So something strange happened. She got an invitation to the ball.
That's what it was.
Right? Okay. So she goes on about her day. She's cleaning the cinders out of the fireplace. She's like, her stepsisters are being rude to her. Her evil stepmother is being mean. And they're just like, you know, piling the chores on. But in her mind, she says, oh my God, what if I could get to the ball? Like, that should be my sole purpose right now. Like, I got this invitation and I'm going to this ball. All right. So she goes on about her business. She's doing all things. She's made a decision. She calls in the mice and she calls in the birds, and they start mending her dress, and they start doing all the things and fixing her hair. And she's like, wow, I might actually be able to pull this off. But guess what happens? The mother and the stepsister get wind of it, and they start piling on the chores. You're not good enough to go to the ball. All you're worthy of is sweeping the floors. All you're worthy of is cleaning out the cinder blocks. What makes you think you can go to the ball? And they created this strife and this tension. But she had a vision, and the vision was to get to the ball. And so she worked harder and she worked faster, and she got all that shit done. Remix, right?
This is not the Disney version.
No, of course not. I fucking hate Disney. I hate it so much. All right. So off she goes. She puts on her dress. She puts on her slippers. She goes to the ball, and she's riding in the carriage, and she's probably thinking, oh my God, what the hell am I doing? I'm Cinderella going to the ball. And she gets to the palace, and she steps out, and she has this moment of like what I would call non-Disney version, like, what in the actual fuck have I done? Here I am. I'm in a total foreign place. This place is fancy. I got this shoe on. I only got till midnight. And she goes in and she starts mingling around, and the prince asks her to dance. And of course, we know she says yes. And she's dancing and she's having a great time. She's out of her element. She's dreaming. And guess what happens? The clock strikes midnight. And she knows, oh my God, the clock has struck midnight and I have to go home. I have to go home. And she takes off running. She trips. In the original fairy tale, she breaks her foot and bleeds all the way home. If you guys didn't know that, that shit didn't make it to Disney. All right. And she's running home, hobbling. And she's like, whoa, that was a close call. Okay, Amy, why do good stories, movies, newsletters, social media posts, why do they have to do this?
So that we listen, feel invested, want to be engaged, and damn, I want to know what happens next.
That's it. And guess what? Hate to say it, most of the content, not doing this. It's not. And it's no fault of your own. All right? You need to work with a professional who understands story structure. And more importantly, what does your ideal client need, want, and desire? What is your experience? How can we bridge? It's called bridge content. How can we bridge that gap? How can we tell an amazing story that captures their heart and their minds, and they reach out to you for whatever it is that they need? That is my magic. That is my magic. And I am so honored to be able to help these people who have said, oh yeah, I'm buying a ticket to this event, and I'm coming, and I'm going to learn how to captivate and convert people with a story. Right? So what questions do you all have about story and creating and relieving tension? And who has their ticket already? I know there's people that already have their ticket, right? Who's excited about February 15th and 16th? All right. I'm super jazzed about it. One of the things I want to share with you is in this phone of yours, in your camera roll, if there's 1,000 pictures, you've got 1,000 marketing stories in there. If there's 500 pictures, you've got 500 marketing stories in there. If there's, mine has 10,000 pictures. I'm kind of a picture-aholic. Picture-holic. I've got 10,000 marketing stories in here. And every time I teach this, people revitalize their marketing, start connecting deeper with their audience, and have fun again, and build relationships. And that's what we're about here. is building quality relationships with trust-based marketing. Amy, you got any final words to say on that?
No. I like when you asked me this question and like you just dropped the bomb.
I totally dropped it.
Bad, guys. Like, really, I don't know how you can't not join us on February 15th and 16th.
Yeah. And just remember, you're the CEO. You can move your schedule around. All right. Unless like Jen Koken, I know she really wanted to be with us and she's reached out. She has a training for a corporation client. That's different, right? But if you've got your one-on-one clients, you've got something, if you really want to be there, I'm going to ask you, what would the CEO do in this case? Okay, because I'm not saying anyone has to suffer. I'm saying everyone gets a win-win. When you learn how to do this, you're going to attract more people. You're going to be re-energized and have better marketing to go out and find your people so you can impact their lives. All right. So you can join us. We would be so happy to have you. And it's going to be an amazing event, which is what I'm known for at the end of the day.
We don't do shitty events.
We don't do shitty events. I don't care if they're 1 hour or a Facebook Live or anything else. We just don't do it. It's not in our brand language. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. We hope to see you at the event. We hope to see you at the celebration event, February 22nd. And we will be sure to communicate where to register for upcoming events as they happen in March off of Facebook and in our Joyful Zoom classroom. Amy, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me and updating me on everything that's going on.
Yeah, you're so welcome. All right, everyone, sending you lots of love. Have a great night. Adios.